Right, and welcome back. Game 2 of this best of 3 between Wind and Rain and Espada. And Wind and Rain absolutely obliterating game 1 out of the hands of Espada. Ritsu on that AM, Bryle on the Bloodseeker, and then Espada had Nyx on the Pugna. And Pugna against an anti-mage is never fun. And either is a Leshrac or a Phantom Lancer or Sand King, or really anything at that point.
I mean, nothing's good against that farmed with an AM anyway. It doesn't matter what hero it is.
And they go back to the Phantom, something we saw, but the last series is just going straight back to that Phantom Lancer. We have seen Phantom Lancer go 0-3 today.
Like I said in the Alliance series in the second game, their strategy is if it doesn't work the first time, smash your head into a brick wall until it works. And just pick it up again this game, first phase. I'm still not sold on this. Like, it can be good against when you see the right heroes in the first phase. Like last game, I think it was an okay PL game. But you only see the Witch Doctor at the moment, so I don't see how they can pick up the PL so early. Kitrak gets his Witch Doctor as well, which he's a big fan of as the position 5. Obviously got a little bit of a nerf to the heal in the recent patch, so Voodoo Restoration has a bigger mana cost to initiate it now. But still a decent hero.
And again, this Silencer comes out. That's got a 0 win percentage too, right?
It has today, I think, yeah. I can't remember who played it in the first series, though. It was picked up in both games. It was either picked or banned, sorry, in both games in the first series. So getting a bit more popular now, the Silencer. Obviously, teamfight's becoming a little bit more important. Again, they just go for it again. They don't care.
No, the Silencer was picked up game 2 for new guys. Let's do it, ex-Kingwin, and they won with it. So it does have 1 win under its belt, but through the entire event, it just seems like Silencer has been losing time and time again.
Yeah, I feel like this hero is only good against certain supports like Undying and such, where you can match them up against each other, and obviously that Curse is super good at stopping the Undying from just spamming out his decay. I love that they just pick up the Pudge again after seeing the Silencer. They're like, yes, you've just picked up the Silencer, it's an easy kill, like we saw last game in the laning phase. As soon as I land that hook on the Silencer, he's just dead. Hook, rot, you're gone. It doesn't matter what offlaner they pick up with the Pudge. When they pick up this squishy position 5 that can just be hooked out of position so easily.
I mean, I don't know if Misha really... He sees that Pudge and he sees a Silencer that he's probably playing. And, well, bad times have been had between that combo.
I think the Clockwork's a good ban out as well. Very good at picking off heroes like Witch Doctor and Pudge in the backline. And not mobile supports, those two, so they can be picked off relatively easily.
It does seem like they've banned out a couple of heroes that are good at getting in the backline.
That's true. I like that Bloodseeker's been banned out this time as well. That hero is too strong at the moment. In terms of, especially with how much trading there's going on in the side lanes. Bloodseeker just gets so much out of it. And although he didn't have a great laning stage on Bryle last game against the Pugna, it's still very good at what it does in the early stages of the game.
Just I watch a Silencer game, or the previous Silencer games, and I'm just like, I'm dumbfounded. It barely seems to be effective. I forgot it was in the previous game just about. You know, it doesn't even come down to the play of Misha. It's just the hero as a whole in the 5 position. I just don't see its value at times. There are times where it stopped the Dismember and it stopped the Fiend's Grip, but you are still losing those fights.
In theory, it can work if you pick a hero that goes with it that is really hard initiation. So you blink in on your initiating hero, pop the global, and take this really big team fight. The problem is they couldn't find this big 5-on-5 team fight last game with the Silencer. That was their issue. Because Wind and Rain just split the map up so well. They're so good at doing that and getting the most out of the map. I know Cinderin was talking about this a lot in the EU qualifiers, that OG and Wind and Rain played the map so much better than all the rest of the teams in that region. I'd like to see something from Wind and Rain again that abuses this lack of lockdown that Espada have so far. They haven't picked any hard stuns, which they probably will pick up still as their main initiation to go along with this global, like we said.
I'd like to think that they learned their lesson on not having stuns.
I mean, they had a Sand King last game, so it's not like they didn't have stuns.
It just wasn't enough lockdown.
They just couldn't find that 5-on-5 that they needed with the global silence. AM just split the map up the whole time, and it felt like they were chasing shadows. Ritsu was just one step ahead of them all the time, and he knew exactly where they were.
I guess, yeah, they did have Split Earth and Burrow Strike, so it's not like they lacked lockdown, it just... I don't know, it just wasn't enough.
10 seconds remaining.
Espada have used so much of their reserve time already. You can tell they're really trying to make sure they give themselves a better chance of winning this game in the drafting stage. This pick here right here is the hardest as well, I think, when you're drafting. First pick in the second stage. There's your lockdown.
Yeah, I like this a lot more, and that's probably a 4-position Windrunner. It's, you know, Shackle, Power Shot. I like it. I like the combination. It almost, and I'm scared to say it because I saw it previously, I'm almost scared to say that they might go back to the Pugna with this Windrunner, is what I saw it last time with. And then that scares me because they haven't banned out the Anti-Mage again.
5 seconds
and I do think that Pugna is... if Pugna's going to get picked, Anti-Mage is going to get picked.
Espada will pick up their offlaner next anyway, because you pick this Wind Ranger, and you don't really want to show whether it's a 4 or a 2 yet in terms of position. It could still be either. They don't have to settle for one of them. And this is the best thing about picking up Wind Ranger, that it's so versatile with where you can roll it. So it's a really valuable pickup at this point in the draft, because it doesn't give anything away to Wind and Rain. So they're going to have to pick up one of their cores here. They just go for the Venge again. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good against the Wind Ranger, where if she shackles somebody, you have to commit the global. Otherwise, the Venge is just going to swap that person back out again. Gives them really good initiation as well, with the so they're not so reliant on the hook. And again, this might not necessarily be an offlane Venge either. It could still be a different position. But I feel like this must be something they've practiced with, this offlane Pudge Venge. They seem very confident with it.
I mean, it's very strong in that Wave of Terror with the Magic Missile. Are they confident with the duo, or are they just more confident in Milan's ability to just land hooks? Seems like he is just on point.
Yeah, Milan was landing some great hooks last game. That one in the trees on the PL, especially in the bot lane, was fantastic. So I think you can definitely rely on him to hit the hooks. It's a very good player, Milan.
Dire team pick.
Here we go.
Doom, okay.
Yeah, so there's the offlaner. I mean, the Doom's okay. It's a bit more of a lane presence for them as well. Wind and Rain, last game, they kind of played that single core focus around the AM, where I feel like Doom especially is really good against Ritsu and the way Wind and Rain play, because you really don't want to have a single core lineup when you play up against Doom. So I think this is going to force Briar to play something that can carry the game a bit more rather than space create. Because if you play a single core against Doom and you get doomed up on that one hero, it feels like a lot of your damage is negated. Like heroes like Morph and such and Spectre and things, they really just don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, you kind of want Doom to have multiple targets to Doom, because if he doesn't Doom the right target, you have options. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Did I not explain that right? I feel like that sounded stupid coming out of my mouth.
Say it again.
So, you want Doom to have to think about who he dooms?
Yes.
You don't want it to just be that singular, it's him every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if he has multiple heroes to doom.
That's why you can't play single core lineups against Doom. You can, but it's just so much more difficult. Briar's been, like I said, last series game, sorry. Briar's been playing a lot of Miranda, but I haven't seen. Okay, well, so Luna's one of those kind of heroes that doesn't matter too much about the Doom. And what this does now is it opens up so much push potential in their team. They've got the Venge, they've got the Luna. So we could see something a little bit different here from Wind and Rain to last game. Yeah, I imagine the Beastmaster's probably going to be banned out here by Espada. Although again, it's probably an offlane Venge, so they might not even bother.
5 seconds remaining.
So what goes with Luna though?
Sorry?
What goes with the Luna? Because they're looking for their mid.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, they are. I think, yeah, DK would have been another good one, or something that pushes towers really well. Maybe Pugner for themselves might be okay on Wind and Rain. Again, because then if you pick up the Pugner with the Luna, you kind of... Again, that's that thing we're talking about the Doom target. You don't. Which one do you ban? It has to be the Pugner every time, but can you offer enough damage to this Luna if she's not doomed up?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I'm looking at these two lineups again, though, and I feel like it's about who's going to have this most space created for them in terms of the Luna and the PL. Because if this Luna starts to get ahead a little bit, she farms so much quicker than the PL, and I feel like I've said that so much today in both series. Like PL, although it can farm quickly, it doesn't farm as quickly as these really mobile heroes like we see, like the Luna, like the AM.
Dire team pick.
So it can be difficult to match up against them in the late game.
Gotta go back to that Battle Fury Phantom Lancer.
Oh god, no, please. Don't say that. That was awful. I mean, it was okay, but the Quelling Blade doesn't work on illusions anymore. Nowhere near as viable as it was before.
Shrek, okay.
Same kind of thing, though. Pushes towers well, and it makes them think about the Doom target. I think this is a decent pick.
Is this...
I like this by Wind and Rain.
Could this turn into safe lane Venge, though? Or not
No,
safe lane
I think
Venge.
it's
No,
off
because
lane
the
Venge.
Luna's there. It has to be off lane. I scratch that. Scratch that from the transcript. Thank you.
It's mid-pudge position 4 left. Easy.
There's the
You may
Pugna
now
again. I
select
wasn't
your hero.
surprised,
See,
honestly, to see that.
They needed something that pushed towers, that's the problem. I think, although Pugner's okay, I'm just worried that it's going to be really squishy against this Wind and Rain lineup. Like, whoever Pudge hooks this game, apart from the PL, who could possibly escape with the Doppelganger, they're in trouble. Like, they're not a massively mobile team, Espada. And I'm just worried that they're not going to be able to get on top of Ritsu on this Luna early on enough. Because we've seen how good he is at understanding where the enemy team is and playing around that and just finding the space to farm.
So does Luna really care about this Doom coming out? I mean, once you throw Lucent Beam or Eclipse or even before, like, is it really that bad for Ritsu to get doomed in this situation? With, you know, Glaives bouncing around, is he the main target, or are you looking at maybe getting Leshrac instead?
I mean, it depends, because when the Leshrac gets BKB, I think you need to doom him. But before that, the Nether Ward from the Pugna is going to do so much work on this Brile Lesh. It's really difficult to play Leshrac into Pugna when you don't have a BKB up. Because that Nether Ward just rips through you. But I'm just worried that Wind and Rain are going to hit this point again in the game where they just can't be stopped.
If given enough
And I'm
space.
worried that, again, I'm worried that Espada have put a timer on their draft, because it's going to get to the late game, and I feel because Luna farms a lot quicker than PL, like we said, she's going to be an item or two ahead. And then I don't know how you deal with that as the PL. And Kitrax is playing Witch Doctor, which is like his favourite hero, so he's very happy.
Is it going to be a Wind and Rain pause again?
Let's
Or
see.
not again, but it was a Espada pause last time. I think Grant called the pause for
Prepare
Wind
for
and Rain,
battle.
right?
Easy breezy.
Forev goes for this Blightstone again on the Venge as well.
Yeah, I was interested to see that last time. Just the Blightstone, and we're able to do some good work with Milan and Forev. Is the Blightstone as important? He didn't turn that into a Dessa last game, did he?
No, it's just he took Wave of Terror level 1 in the laning stage.
Yeah.
So that reduced the armor by 3. The Blightstone reduces armor by 2. All of a sudden, when you're sitting on -5 armor, like that makes PL not have any armor anymore, which is not fun to play against in the laning stage. You take a lot of harass damage from the Venge then.
So it's just easier to get that kill if they are to catch this PL without Doppelganger.
Yes. Pudge hits deceivingly hard as well. Like he has 62 base damage.
30 seconds to battle.
Brile mid, we'll see how he does up against Nyx, who had a good mid laning phase. You know, not to take away from him at all. You know, the loss looks bad. Like it was a stomp from Wind and Rain, but the laning phase was good from Nyx. And if we see that again, does this game still turn out the same way? Whereas a Leshrac isn't able to do as much compared to a level 6 Bloodseeker with Rupture.
I mean, I think this lane definitely favours the Pugna. If you look at the base damage comparison especially, It's all about whoever gets the double null out first, I think. But honestly, the Leshrac should be able to get something from this lane just by the Lightning Storm anyway, and the Split Earth just to secure CS. Good block by Nyx as well in the mid lane.
Do you think we see rotations for Bryle? Are we gonna see like Witch Doctor maybe come over? Or is he stuck here with Ritsu, or maybe just even Milan coming in?
Dire's structures
Yeah,
are
Kitrak just has to stay up here with the heal and just help Ritsu in lane. Just secure his laning stage, because they need this Luna to have a decent start. The Milan and Forev on these two in the bot lane down here are going to be absolutely fine. They don't need too much help. It's just this bot lane is just a repeat of last game.
Yeah, it really is, and it did not go well for ILTW and Misha, so...
But you see they're doing the same again. They're doubling up the wave and they're just pushing it under the Radiant Tier 1, so eventually it's just going to come back the other way, which allows Milan to just get so many more openings for hooks. It makes it really difficult for the PL and Silencer to push forward in the lane when they can get hooked.
Yeah, I do wonder how this lane's going to change, because they've got the Magic Missile. Milan with the hook already hits on ILTW, and he doesn't have Doppelganger level 1. He took Spirit Lance, so this is going to be First Blood for Wind and Rain.
It's just the same as last game. It's really well played by them.
That is just, it's brutal. It really is brutal.
It feels like this time that they're stopping Ritsu from farming a bit more, which is good. The only problem is that with this sustain coming out from Kittrax on the Witch Doctor, that he doesn't have to worry too much about being chipped away by like the Wind Ranger.
Are we going to see more Pudge? I feel like with the change to hook, giving it 1300 range at all levels, it's just like, he can be super effective, and we've seen that here from Wind and Rain.
I don't think we'll necessarily see it from all teams, but there's certain teams in particular that I feel like eventually you're just going to have to ban Pudge out against. Because it is such a strong hero now with it doing 150 pure damage at level 1. And such a long range.
Do you know any teams off the top of your head, maybe at TI, that play Pudge? I mean, personally, I just, off the top of my head, I got nothing. I just actually hold that thought. Magic Missile comes out, misses the hook on Misha. Now Forev in a little bit of trouble with the rock. Comes out, they'll get the kill on Misha. Like you said, Milan does hit deceptively hard. Forev will fall to ILTW. Milan on the run. And they end up trading not what they would have liked for Wind and Rain.
Yeah, good kill. Unfortunately, they missed the hook, but they still get the kill in the end. Just trade 1 for 1.
Yeah, I think
it's not too bad.
The hook hit would have just kept Forev alive. But unfortunately, he, the misses happen, but they still get a kill, so it's not the worst thing in the world, and you always have to be careful if you're ILTW. If you get forced into that doppelganger, I would assume you want to play hyper defensive at that point with a 25-second cooldown.
Yeah, he has to play so careful down here. Like, all it takes is 1 hook from Milan here on either of these 2 heroes, and they just have to basically run for their lives.
And Magic Missile comes out. They've got the Rot. They force out the Doppelganger. He'll look for the hook. Milan trying to get in his face, but there's the hook. There's the kill with the Rot. He's got nowhere to go. Misha might be in trouble too. Milan doesn't end up denying himself, but Forev, he'll grab the 2nd kill, and that is all 4 kills in this bottom lane.
Yeah, you can't use that doppelganger until the hook comes out, unfortunately. And he had to, because the Pudge just ran at him that time with the Rot. It's so difficult to play this lane. And this top lane isn't going well for them either. Like, when you play Doom Wind Ranger, you really want to be able to chip away at heroes, but you can't do that when you're against these sustain heroes like Warlock and Witch Doctor.
Power Shot comes out on Ritsu, but like you said, as long as Kitrak can keep his mana high and, you know, puts more in the Voodoo Restoration, they should be fine in this top lane. There's not really much they can do. It was over mid for just a moment. Leshrac, Bryle got low, but he's okay. ILTW again, and now he's gone 2 into Phantom Rush. I mean, I'm not saying go into Doppelganger, but 25 seconds is still just so rough, and it makes him have to play super defensive, where, you know, we saw Anti-Mage. He went to the Blink because he knew he needed the lower cooldown, or he went to the Mana Shield because he knew he needed the higher defense. Like, feels...
But the problem is, though, that Doppelganger only decreases the cooldown by 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you have a 25 or a 20-second cooldown. If you get hooked and you don't have it up, you're still dead. Like he has to max the Phantom Rush now just to help his farming capabilities after the lanings.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Magic Missile comes out on a Misha with a Wave of Terror. They find the hook. Misha low with the Rot. They'll get another kill. 5 kills here for Win and Rain.
It's so funny to watch when people just lose the will to live because they stop moving and just attack as well. Misha's like, God fucking.
Like, I know I'm dead.
Get me out.
Nick's taking a surprising amount of damage here from Bryle. And it's just, it's every time. And, oh no, he places down the ward. Milan. Easy ward to get. It might cost him his life if he could rot. Nope. Misha getting the kill.
Almost got that denial. Was close. But then the thing is, it's the same as last game. They're not stopping Ritsu from farming, even though they're pressuring him. The Ritsu, look at the CS between the PL and the Luna at the moment. This is what I meant in the drafting phase. It's all about who gets the most space created for them. And in this bot lane, they're just absolutely owning.
It is very hard for ILTW to find farm, but for right now at least, the Forev has rotated. They hold the rune for now, but Bryle is going to find some help over mid as Milan is here with Kitrak. And they'll get the kill onto Nyx. Bryle comes over, and they have the haste on to Forev, but they're not even going to need it. They'll get another kill as the first kill out of the bottom lane, but there's going to be another one bottom. As Forev with that haste, and as well as that level 3 Wave of Terror with the -5 armor reduction is going to get another kill here. He's 2, 1, and 4, involved with 6 of the 7 kills.
-7 armor reduction because of the Blightstone as well. That's where it comes in super value. That's the swap as well now. And look, mid, they just hook him from the tier 1.
And they're going to get
he has the wand if he needs to. Nyx just TP's in, and they have to know this is coming though. Like Pudge and the Witch Doctor just rotated mid. I feel like he should have known that they put some vision down somewhere, and you have to be expecting that hook. Especially when they dewarded your own ward with that sentry you see in the mid lane. Yeah, look, there you go. Misha realises now. No! Please tell me he realised. Oh, he did. I was going to say.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
So
The thing is, though, they're going to know that they have vision now because he attacked it from the high ground.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I'm not sure about that one. Doom's level 4.5 at 8 minutes into the game. Like, this top lane's just... It's just not gone well for them at all. They really need this level 6 on the Doom to be able to play around him. He's their strong hero at that point.
Meanwhile, Forev level 6, and like you said, they have that swap, so it's very hard for Espada to kind of find their footing in a game like this. Where is Milan? I always want to be looking at where he might be. He is over near mid, and Immersion's here to try and protect Nyx, but we'll see. Life Drain comes out, turning around. Power Shot will miss.
We talked about the mid lane as well being a favourable matchup for the Pugner. He had a good time, but as soon as he died those 2 times in a row... Oh, mid.
Yeah, Bryle getting a little low, but the hook! Oh, my God, Milan is just too good this game. Lightning Storm comes out onto Immersion, the Shackle attempt, but Bryle was the one who was low. Yeah, they'll lose Milan, but the Split Earth lands on 2. They've got Forev coming over. ILTW comes around to try and get the kill onto Bryle and will clean him up. So maybe a little bit too far for Wind and Rain as they go after Kitrak. And they will chase him down. 3 kills here for Espada. So yes, a little bit too far.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they tried to just go in with the Pudge, and because he doesn't have level 6, it's pretty difficult to get that kill. So, unfortunately, they gave a few more kills away, but I'm sure Espada are going to be very happy with that one. Oh, top lane as well. They get the Shackle.
Yeah, Ritsu going to try and TP out. Decrep Life... A lot of damage coming out very quick with that Decrep Life Drain Nether Blast.
Yeah. I thought he did TP back to base, though, so that's, you know, stopping him from farming for 30 seconds or so. It doesn't sound like a lot, but, you know, it's something.
It's that opportunity that we saw. You know, opportunity to find that level 6 for some of these heroes. And actually, Doom is over towards mid trying to get level 6, and he's almost got it.
Milan tries to put the observer ward behind the tower bot lane, but they have the sentry down already, so it gets deordered. Uh-oh,
And yeah,
Misha.
this is trouble for Misha. The rod is here. Ritsu will snag that one. And oh, then Immersion over by the bounty rune will drop to Bryle. So Bryle gets one, Ritsu gets one, and I think, did Doom just come out? Yeah, that came out onto Bryle. Over mid, misses the stun though, and let's see, he's under the Voodoo Restoration, just trying to stay alive. Doom should run out in a moment, and Doom has, I guess, then been wasted.
They had the Arcane Curse, but again, this heal from Kittrax is just keeping them alive. And you really want to be getting a kill with that first Doom as well. This is really not great for Espada.
Another 2 minutes, still comes back up, and the Shackle. We take a look at, oh man, the damage on a Ritsu. The Global Silence comes out, but Ritsu's not dead yet. Immersion tries to come over, and of course Milan is there. Of course Milan is there to get the hook shot to save him. So never comes through onto Immersion. Maybe not the best spot for Milan to be in, and I say that as they do end up taking out Immersion. I thought that maybe Nyx would give the help that Immersion needed with
Ritsu
Misha.
as well, getting chased by the Doom.
Scorched Earth, Ritsu chase, BZZ trying to grab it, Infernal Blade hits, but the Split Earth as well as the Lucent Beamer there. Diabolic Edict, they'll still get the kill. BZZ will grab it onto Ritsu. The hook is a little bit short.
Great rotation by BZZ. They really needed to find something there, especially after committing so much and losing quite a lot.
I know
He might be in
BZZ
trouble
might
now.
still just be dead. He'll find the cask, and Bryle comes over. He'll find the Lightning Storm, Pulse Nova, and Bryle gets the kill on the BZZ.
Good kill by them.
Yeah, nice little kill there to get it back on a BZZ. Their net worth advantage has kind of gone down. It was about 3,000, 4,000 earlier, now down to 1,000. But Wind and Rain, you know, they still have the experience advantage, and they're doing okay. But Espada holding on at the moment.
All the net worth difference at the moment is in the supports on both sides. This Pudge is almost 3,000 net worth. He's having a great game. So the cores are all pretty even this game at the moment. It's looking good pretty good for PL, I would say. But the Luna's going to start getting points in glaives now. Yeah, she's got the 3rd point, so she's going to be starting to farm a lot faster than the PL. I really like this skill build by Ritsu as well. You get the 3rd point in the Lucent Beam at level 5, but you don't need the 4th point. So max your glaives and help your farming potential in this mid game.
He's gone 3-3-1-1, and then Bryle on the track is 2-3-4-1, and 4 into that Lightning Storm. Plenty of lightning strikes, plenty of slow, and honestly, plenty to work with here for Wind and Rain. Bottom, though, they're coming over for Forev. They've got the D-Crap, they've got the Life Drain, Infernal Blade with the Hoof Stomp coming through from BZZ. 3 heroes here. On top of that, they had Scorched Earth, so it's an easy kill on Forev. But 3 heroes here while Ritsu farms as well as Bryle. It's a little bit of what we saw last game. And I just worry, are they giving too much space? It doesn't feel like it at the moment. I think Espada are doing a better job this game than last.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a much better job this game. Especially because they have the PL that's kind of keeping up with the Luna at the moment.
I think ILTW had a much better lane this time than last. You know, it did kind of... It still was bad, but it was better than last time.
No, it was better, and this is why he maxes the Phantom Rush, just for having this a potential to farm the jungle so much quicker. When he gets his Diffuser Blade online as well, he can hook mid. That was a great
Immersion. A lot of trouble. Split Earth. Easy kill.
When you're playing Pudge, it's really important you have this deep vision behind the towers as well. You see that ward on the high ground there in the mid lane, just seeing the Wind Ranger move around.
Yeah, and they get the kill on Forever again with that life drain, and it's just Nyx is really doing a lot on this Pugna. He's, you know, at least recently, he's 2-2-2. The 2 kills onto the Forev Venge. I mean, he's been moving around a lot recently, and I think he's doing a pretty good job, and he should be able to find himself a 3rd here as Kitrak in way too deep. The Shackle, of course, hits. You've got trees behind you. And with a 3rd kill, Nyx grabs it and kills off this Witch Doctor.
Yep. The other
And they're
thing
going to
is-
go for
oh,
more.
okay.
Yeah, they might even get more onto Bryle. Nyx grabs Bryle, and that's a 3-time spree ended, and Nyx grabbing a lot of gold, so he is really boosting himself up towards the top of the net worth.
Yeah, I don't think you could be standing there on Bryle when they've just been fighting before. You see the drawing on the map. Like that, come on, man. What are you doing there? You just allowed yourself to get picked off. And the Lesh has to play so differently now that the Pugna's hit level 11, so he has a point in the Nether Ward. He has to be so much more careful.
We're seeing a lot of what we saw from Espada, from War for Espada this game. As, you know, they're opening up the map. They have those space creators, and they're opening up the map more for ILTW, where last game we saw that for the anti-mage, for Ritsu. Global Silence comes out over bottom. They've got the life drain on Forev again, who's trying to run away, and mega kill streak here for Nyx. Milan's got the Dismember onto the Doom. They'll send over Bryle. They've also got Kit Rack. They'll throw the ulti, trying to get the kill on a BZZ, but not enough damage, not nearly enough damage, and they do end up losing Forev.
That's fine though. They used the global, got a kill. They didn't lose anything for it.
Dire's middle tower is
They're
under
quite happy with that. Ritsu's farming away, but PL's keeping up, so they're pretty happy.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The thing that is a bit of a problem is losing fights for a spot. I think is a little bit more costly. If they
Do you mean
can't
in the
defend
sense
their
of taking
objectives.
objective?
Yes, where you know you're gonna have that level 4 in the Diabolic Edict. You're gonna have glaives to work with, and I think Luna and Ullstrak can really pressure towers.
At this point in the game, especially, but it goes back the other way. Like there's a Pugna on the other side, and there's a PL that does a lot of damage to towers too.
Yeah.
So I think both teams have to be super careful. We talked about the importance of being defensive
Hook's
when you go
gonna
high ground.
miss. They've got the magic missile on Amisha. In comes BZZ with the Doom coming out onto Forev. The Split Earth lands, but Kit Rack dead to Nyx thanks to that Nether Ward, and they land the Shackle as well as the Power Shot. Espada taking the better of that engagement. Ryle and Milan's gonna back off. Ritsu comes down bottom, but do you really want to fight 5v3? And maybe you do because you've got the Eclipse. You look over at BZZ with the Dismember coming out from Milan. They've got themselves one. They'll look for more, but Bryle killed off, and you've lost another. And that's going to be a fourth
Milan
here. They'll lose Milan. Nyx gets the kill. 4 dead on Wind and Rain, and Espada doing a very good job of handling these engagements for what seems to be the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. I like that Ritsu tried to come in and fight that time. As long as Ritsu's not dying, though, I think Wind and Rain are going to be not happy with how these fights are going, but they still have a chance to win their game because Ritsu is their big win objective hero. They have to be able to just give him the space. And this is just how Wind and Rain like to play, you know? Play these 4 protect 1 kind of styles.
We'll see if it ends up working out for them. They've got the Yasha and the Mask of Madness on the Luna, but still.
I think the BKBs are going to be the big timings next for both teams. I'd really like to see this Pugna go for a BKB next as well. He's actually got a Dagon queued up, but I really hope we don't see this. Because it's going to get to a point where...
Ooh, missing the stun on the Bryle, and now the Yules comes out. They'll look for the hook, but just not fast enough to get where that hook was going, and Nyx gets another kill on Bryle. We've seen Bryle just heavily shut down. He's 5-4-1.
That's why BKB is important. I really hope that they give Bryle the space to be able to farm this BKB though. They can't just let Ritsu be the only person that farms it. The BKB is super important on this Leshrac. It's going to help his mid game and late game so much. They might actually win these team fights if they get these BKBs online. I feel like they need to do the same thing they did in the first game where they just split the map up, try to just avoid all fights for a little while and farm up these key items so they can try and take fights afterwards.
So coming over is BZZ as well as Misha. They have the Global Silence. They don't have Doom, and you just look at how quickly Kit Rack is taking care of the Blink with the Hoof Stomp as well as the Infernal Blade trying to TP out. And the damage, oh, they'll just stop it. Doom comes off cooldown, and BZZ will get another kill here as he is only 3 kills but 11 assists. So doing a lot for his team.
Yeah, Ritsu might be in trouble here as well on the Luna.
Yeah, they've got the hook. They'll look for the Shackle Shot. Not going to land, but the Global Silence to follow this up. Ritsu's so low, and he's not going to be able to survive this. They are going to kill ILTW and probably finish off Immersion. So at least they get 2 out of that, but it's just giving up Ritsu is rough at this point in the game.
It's okay, but if you get the PL in return, I think it's all right. They shouldn't be worried too much about that. And again, they get the extra kill as well in the Wind Ranger, so it's looking pretty good for them.
And Bryle is looking for that BKB, so we'll see how quickly he does get it.
I like this build from Luna as well. This is a popular build we see at the moment. They understand how important the BKB timings are. So instead of finishing that Manta first, which we rarely see, but we do sometimes, he just goes for the Yasha straight into the BKB. Forev's had a little bit of a rough time though on this Venge. He had a good start in the laning phase. It's been a bit of a rough time for him afterwards. I think he's been doomed like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and Espada's been doing a very, very good job at that. They've been playing this second game very well. Fighting when they need to fight, fighting off cooldowns, using the dooms in spots that, you know, maybe they get a pick off here or there. They've been using global silence really well as well. And, you know, with such a high cooldown, you get a little bit nervous in that. But over mid, Immersion hooked up, dismembered, and now they've got the D-Crap. We'll just try to TP out, but there's the blink with the hoof stomp, Infernal Blade. Swap comes through. So Milan's still alive. Forev might give up his life for this. They've got the Wave of Terror, and now looking for the hook, but it's going to come up short on BZZ.
Wind and Rain tried to do a really cheeky play there where they went into the Roche pit, but it got scouted out instantly by the power shot from the Wind Ranger. It was a really good heads-up play from Espada to know that that was going to have a chance of that going on.
Yeah, Espada doing a very good job of finding their vision, finding their spots, and again, it's just staying aggressive, making, you know, you said the BKBs are very important for Wind and Rain. They're trying to make sure that the timings on them are not what they need to be for Wind and Rain. And as you said that he was going to stop at the Yasha, he does double back and finish off the Manta.
See, I think that shows more about their game plan than anything, though. They just want to split this map up and just avoid fights until they get the BKBs.
Ooh, Immersion might be dead again. The cast comes out over mid. The Shackle will lock in the Witch Doctor. They've got the Split Earth to follow it up. Milan is here, and we'll grab the kill onto Immersion.
He's onto 14 Flesh Heat stacks as well already on this Pudge. 5, 4, and 13, giving him that bonus of 28 strength already. And it's not even level 4.
Oh my god, 2,500 health for him. And he's going back to the Shiva's Guard, which we saw in the last game. He went with the Shiva's Blink, or Blink then Shiva's. So...
yeah, I think against PL especially, that Sheaves is definitely valuable. The thing I like about this Manta first on Luna, I don't like it, but the reason I do is because she's gone for the Manta first, it feels like they're going to get the BKBs on the cores at the same time now. So instead of just showing one BKB at a time, they're going to come into a fight and just show these 2 new BKBs all at once, and then that's going to be really difficult for Espada to deal with, I think. It's greedy, but if he gets away with it, then it will definitely be valuable.
Do you think the Hood is good on the Phantom Lancer again? He's gotten that Yasha now too, though.
It's okay, especially against the Leshrac. Like the Hood's a really valuable item in this game. He went for the Diffusal first this time though, which in the first series today between Alliance and New Boys we didn't see. Doubling back for the Hood's fine. You just want that Diffusal blade for your farming speed first, I think.
Ooh, Shackle shot. That's onto an illusion. So they've now shown their hand, and blinking forward will be Milan. He's got the Dismember with the Global Silence, follows it up, so the Dismember's no longer going to be there. The Life Drain comes out from Nyx, and Milan is very dead. They look over at Forev, but he's able to TP away. So Milan will die, but it's for the greater good.
Good kill by them, by Espada, but they do use the Global for it, though. That's the thing. So it means the cores of Wind and Rain can just farm okay for the next little while. Not really having to worry too much about the Global.
Bryle here by himself with ILTW and Immersion nearby. Immersion, he has the Maelstrom going for the Blink Dagger next, and now they're on their way to try and kill the Bryle. They've got the Shackle, ILTW here, and Espada again. Just really stellar on their map movements and find themselves another pickoff.
I mean, yeah, that's really good, well played by Espada. All these pickoffs are adding up so much for them.
Almost able to get the kill on a Ritsu.
I'd like to see them try and move into the Roshan pit soon, if they can try and take a good fight around there first. Oh
Shackle's
boy.
Just constantly hitting from Immersion, and they grab another kill on Kitrak, who is 1-5-4.
they can get this tier 2 as well. Like we said last game, turn kills into objectives. Double up on the net worth advantage you get from your kills. Very valuable. And the thing is, this tier 2 is a really good TP point for Roche as well. So again, if they can get this down, get themselves some more map control. I really don't like that Brile farmed in that position down in the bot lane though. I think that's too risky when you're so close to your BKB. There's no reason to be there before you have it.
He's about 400 gold away. Ritsu, he's very close to his BKB as well. And when those BKBs come out, maybe we see a little bit more from Wind and Rain. But yeah, it's been these pickoffs that Espada have been taking advantage of. And Wind and Rain has put them maybe in a spot that they didn't really think they'd be in with this lineup. And I like where Espada stands, especially when they turn those kills into objectives.
The Roche fight's going to be the next big one for sure.
Oh, ILTW Brile again over me, but he does buy out of the BKB. So at least he's got that. Even if he dies, he will have the BKB for the next go-around. Get racked in a lot of trouble, and TP's out with the Voodoo Restoration on.
Just that Netherward does so much damage. But the thing is, this is what I'm talking about. They get a kill around the Roche pit, so they can just move in now.
Yeah,
so it's really well played by them. And Milan's going to get the courier. Oh, they glyph it just in time.
He's still looking for it, and he'll get it.
Oh, this is so much space as well.
Now the question is, can he get out? And Immersion chasing with BZZ. I mean, they've got Infernal Blade, they have Ensnare. There's no chance he gets away. The question is, does he deny himself? And the answer to that is no. All the while, they go for Roche.
They can't use that space, unfortunately. Yeah, and this is a really big Roche, because now they have the BKB, dual BKBs on Wind and Rain. Doesn't matter as much now that there's an Aegis on the side of Espada. This is really good for them.
Milan does not have a lot of mana at the moment. I don't know how many times he's been -2'd, but it's definitely showing.
How much silence does the silence have? 20?
20.
Pretty good.
It's a decent spot for position 5. They've been doing a lot better than we've seen previous performances from a silencer.
Yeah. So here's the dual BKB. I'd like to see them smoke up here and try and get something done. Find a big team fight. They have to get something done here with the BKBs. This is good.
Espada, again, just being aware, knowing where they need to be, being close together, and they do come close. ILTW, though, oh boy, Dismember starts it off. They've got the Global Silence, so that's going to get him free. Everybody's silenced at the moment with the BKB pop by the Luna. ILTW, the Doom is on the Luna, so they're not going to have themselves that eclipse. They'll take out Kitrack. They'll look for more. BCC getting a little bit low because he doesn't really care about getting Doom because he's got the damage. ILTW looking to get something here as he does use the Doppelganger. Kills off Ritsu. 3 die. Buyback from Kitrack. Forev without mana. Power Shot comes through. Immersion low. Kitrack trying to find that kill. Brile with the Pulse Nova continuing to work, but it's not enough as he's overwhelmed by 4 here for the side of Espada. The double BKBs show, and they unfortunately are not successful if you're a fan of Wind and Rain, and Espada take a 5,000 net worth lead.
ILTW still has the Aegis as well. They didn't even lose that. That's a really big power spike in Wind and Rain. That double BKB that they really wanted to have, it's been delayed so much that by the time they come to that fight for the first time, that really wasn't the jump they wanted either. Espada looking so strong now. ILTW is going to be scaling really well on this PL.
So now that you've got these BKBs and you see that the double BKB doesn't work, or it didn't work, obviously that is against an Aegis. Do you then fall back to farming?
Yeah, I mean, unless they have... The problem is with that play into the jungle there, they didn't have much vision to begin with. So it's not like they were smoking towards their own vision where they knew somebody was. It was kind of one of those smokes where, right, we have these BKBs, we have to find something. We don't care what it is. They almost got the PL at the start, but he's not the guy you want to be jumping first when there's an Aegis on him.
And they throw down
They really want to
some
take
vision.
those fights.
Nice
They need better vision next time if they want to take those fights.
They'll spot Kitrack, easy cleanup. Could be
Forev
more.
might be
Forev in
next.
a lot of trouble. He's ensnared as well as the Infernal Blade power shot. And Glimmer Cape not going to help you. Double kill here for ILTW.
We talked about the pushing power of both teams as well. So they're going to be able to chip at this tower with the Nether Blasts on the Pugler.
Milan nowhere near the base, and he does have TP to get back, but no Venge, no Witch Doctor.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
I love this. They're not committing too hard to the tower. They're still being super careful going high ground. Just blasting away with another blast, pulling back again.
Are under attack.
Ritsu's over towards top, so he's just trying to counter this play.
He understands they can't fight this Rax until they're 5 again. Or the hook.
Hook comes out on
Oh,
a
they get a
mix, but again, the
global out of it.
global silence. So they pull a global out, which is nice. Ritsu pushing top still, and
Are under attack.
Rax will fall, and here comes the 2 TPs from the side of Espada.
Or can the Doom find him?
Ah! He's dead. Or he might be dead, I don't know. Pops the
the Shadow
BKB.
Blade.
At least the TP is stopped. I spoke too soon with the dead. But BZZ with the Shadow Blade. And now doomed up. Hit with the Shackle, not gonna latch. And Ritsu does die, and so does Ryle. Ryle dies over mid.
Espada are playing this really well. I think it was a bit greedy by Ritzy to stay quite as long as he did there in the top lane, especially when he saw them back off quite a long time ago. But Espada are doing such a good job of punishing them in terms of splitting up on the map this time, whereas they couldn't really do that last game.
This is another set of racks, most likely. I mean, they'll buy back on Ryle, but if he already taken so much damage, Milan looks for the hook. The Netherward just does so much.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, the buyback from Bryle, it does deter them from trying to take this top tier 3 and set of racks, but for how long is the question?
Yeah, he just does go down though, so that gives Wind and Rain a little bit more of a window that they didn't have before. Where if they pick off the PL first this time, then he will go down. They're doing a really good job on Espada though, playing around these big cooldowns of the Doom and the Global.
Oh, the dag and the swap comes out from Forev to save Milan. ILTW. Spirit Lance disjointed.
This heart on the PL makes him so difficult to bring down as well, because even if he gets brought down pretty low at the start of the fight, he can just dance around the backlines and just wait for himself to heal up again, and just come right back into the middle of the fight.
Double damage.
They don't really have that burst damage that we see from some teams
Dire's
on
bottom
Wind and Rain to be able to
shrine
deal
is
with this
under attack.
PL. Because Lanesh probably would have been their answer, but he's had such a rough mid-game that he doesn't really have the items that he needs to be able to deal with the PL at this point.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
And this could be the first game that Wind and Rain drop in this qualifier overall. And it's looking to be that way. I mean, Espada is just really doing a great job. They've really proven that despite really only having Shackle as their lockdown, they've done, you know, their positioning is what they need.
Dire's bottom tower
They've
has
used
fallen.
the Infernal Blade well, the Hoof Stomp, Dooms when they need them on the right heroes.
Yeah, BZZ's had a great game on this Doom. He's played very well.
Top tower is under attack.
17
Ritzy's just trying to
assists.
push top lane, just trying to force rotations back. He understands how difficult it is for them to fight, and he's been doomed up as well.
Yeah, doomed
Oh,
again.
this is
Infernal
bad.
Blade with the ensnare. Kirak throws the ulti, but immediately stopped with this global silence. You're in the trees, so that Shackle is for sure going to land. Immersion is going to get the kill into Ritsu. Kirak taken out by BZZ. And both of them do not have buyback.
Yeah, Espada have done a much better job of just punishing the greed this game. They're finding these kills and these pickups that they just didn't get before, and they're just reaping the benefits at the moment. And they can just all walk that back down towards the spot lane and just go to the high ground. Ritsu doesn't have buyback for 60. I'm not sure if they know. They probably don't know that, but they're not going to be afraid to go high ground here. Especially if they forced the Ritsu buyback in the first place, they would have been happy with that. They're going to realize very quickly that he doesn't have it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Here we go. Work on the bottom tier 3, and look at BZZ just move in. It pushes them away from this Netherwood, which they can't really deal with, and that's a huge problem. The BKB going to be popped by Brawl. They've got the Dismember. That'll come through on a BZZ as the silence is out onto this Pudge. Immersion gets the kill into Kirak. You take a look. The next one to fall is going to be Milan. They're being corralled into their well, and this is a huge problem for Wind and Rain. You do find the magic missile with the split earth and do kill BZZ, but look at your tier 3, look at your racks, and you're almost non-existent. Oh god. Again, Decrepify, Dagon, Life Drain, Nether Blast, and the Eclipse comes out, but it's doing literally no damage to the side of Espada. And with that, you almost wonder what else you have to throw as Bryle Dagoned out of this game. And he's dead for 77 seconds. No buyback. Ritsu out of mana. The Aeon just popped on Immersion. Moving forward will be Milan. And the buyback's there from BZZ, so he'll be back in this fight in just a moment. He's walking his way in. Again, Decrepify, Dagon, Immersions here with the Shackle coming out. ILTW moving forward. Kit Rack will fall. Down goes Milan. 3 dead on the side of Wind and Rain. GG is called, and we're going to a game 3.
Really much better play from Espada this game. They set up the kills really well by using their TPs a lot better. They played the map a lot better than last game. And the PL and Silencer worked this time. I was really impressed with them. I think Brian had a bit of a rough game on this Lesh though. He gave away just a few too many kills in that mid game. And they didn't hit that BKB timing early enough, which really hurt them. I feel like they were playing a little bit too much on the edge there, Wind and Rain. I think they need to be just a little bit less greedy. It felt like Ritsu was playing the same way as if he was playing an AM, where he could just blink around. And Luna's not quite such a mobile hero.
And they didn't exactly have the ability to, you know, they played it the same way as the first game, in my opinion, where they try to space create for Ritsu, but you didn't exactly have the lineup that was capable of doing the same thing as they did in game 1, and Ritsu on this Luna wasn't exactly doing the same as what an anti-mage could do in game 1. And
the thing is though, they shut down the 2 Wind and Rain tempo controllers in the Lesh and the Venge so much that when they shut them down, they can't create that space for the Luna because they've fallen so far behind. And I really like that they punish Ritsu whenever he made those really aggressive plays in the lane as well. Like you don't mind him farming too much. When he tries to do that really greedy play of pushing the lane in super far, they punished him this time. And really well played to Espada this game. Much better performance from them.
And so Espada pushed it to a game 3. They look much better in this game 2 than they did in game 1. Wind and Rain, they got to go back to the drawing board. We'll be back with game 3 in just a moment. I'm your caster, B-Cop, joined here by Mofara, at BCop92 on Twitter, at MoFaraDota on Twitter. Follow us to know when we're casting. And again, like I said, the behind-the-scenes look at Tier 10, Tier 20 casters. It's a fun time to just follow us and know what you're looking at. Thank you guys for joining us. Stay tuned for game 2. And again, smiles in the chat.